Walt's at. Or Jeremy's at.
Well, we're a quorum.
Maybe they're both making beds. Who knows? And we don't have a new cover letter, do we?
Oh, it's in your packet.
Well, I see that, no?
Cover letter, item C.
Perfect.
Ah, yes, thank you.
All right, the time is 12:02. We're going to call to order the Grand County Change in Form of Government Study Committee regular meeting. Again, today is Friday, November 1st, 2019. Present, we have Cricket Green, Bob Greenberg, Stephen Stocks, and Judy Carmichael, and by telephone, Marcy Till. Additionally, we have Ruth Dillon and Gavin Anderson, our attorney, here present. Members that are not present.
Gavin's on the phone.
And Gavin is on the phone as well. Walt Dabney and I don't know if our mics are working.
Yeah, there.
Hello?
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah. Maybe not. Jeremy texted me he can't make it.
Okay. Do, re, mi. Now there.
Hello?
Okay,
Hello,
well,
hello?
again, the members present are Stephen Stocks, Judy Carmichael, Cricket Green, Bob Greenberg. On the telephone, we have Marcy Till. On the telephone, we also have Gavin Anderson, and Ruth Dillon is here present. Members not present are Walt Dabney and Jeremy Day, and Jeremy Day has indicated he will not be here for the meeting.
Ruth, can you turn up the phone thing?
Turn up, off, up.
I could hear
And
it.
again, it's Friday, November 1st, 2019. So we'll start things off with a pledge. Cricket Green, could you please lead us in the pledge? Thank you. Please be seated. Next, now we're going to move to the approval of the minutes. Everyone should have received a copy of the October 25th, 2019 minutes. If anyone has any changes, take a moment, look through it, and we can make any changes as people find necessary.
Move we approve.
Okay, I've got a motion to approve the minutes as is. Cricket, seconds it. Any further discussion on the minutes? Judy, or not Judy, Marcy, any questions on the minutes?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Marcy, any questions on the minutes?
No.
Okay, perfect. We'll move then to vote on approving the minutes. All in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
It passes 5-0. Next, general reports. We have nothing on general reports. Community outreach and possible action. We have nothing on community outreach and possible action. Citizens to be heard. Anyone out there that would like to speak? Seeing none, we'll move on to presentations. We have none. Next item, general business action items, discussion and consideration of. Item B, approving policy decisions and approving changes to propose summary of recommended legislative action to be sent to members of the state legislature regarding 2018 House Bill 224 as it relates to the state-mandated change in Grand County's form of government postponed from October 18th, 2019. Mr. Anderson.
All right, so you should have Grand County experience October 25th draft. I think it's just a matter of however you'd like to go through it, Mr. Chairman. It includes changes from our last meeting last Friday. I think it's pretty true to what the committee discussed.
Can we just,
So how would you like to go through it?
can Gavin just lead us through the changes?
Gavin, will you just walk us through the changes?
Hey, Bart?
Will you just walk us through the changes?
I will try that. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at track changes. So
You're fine. I can walk us through my old notes if we'd like.
okay. I think that would be an issue, or an approach, is to go through your notes. Hopefully, we'll have a chance to read the October 25th draft. I do have some changes and handwritten notes in the margins. I can at least go through some of them. Most of them are just grammatical. So we'll have to kind of try and remember the substantive
Sure. And I'll just walk through, and if anybody has notes that are additional or above or correcting my notes, just let me know. So in paragraph 2, we changed the words commission in 3 places.
That's why.
Bring 'em
Oh,
over
sure,
here.
yeah.
I'll just steal 'em.
That's much better.
Okay, you're coming with me.
All right. Whether I like it or not.
That's right, no choices.
Got Marcy too.
All right, hey, and Marcy, you too. You're also.
So are you talking about Roman
Good.
1
Yeah, Roman numeral
B?
I, paragraph B.
Okay,
We changed commission, in all the places it stated commission, went to legislative body.
Right.
Previous item C that stated it causes confusion for multiple tracks has been removed and moved to the cover letter.
That's for me.
Okay. Next, because we moved item C on the previous, all the other letters were changed. So correctly listed now is new paragraph C. And we also added the word confusing in front of spaghetti bowl and put spaghetti bowl into quotations. There is no period at the end of the hyperlink, but that's not critical.
it shouldn't be really, I don't think.
Yeah,
It's in the end of a sentence.
It's a hyperlink.
Okay, then we've also removed paragraph E on the old version and made it a bulleted list onto page 2.
Correct.
That was all the changes under the first Roman numeral 1. Any changes above and beyond from that?
no.
Okay, moving to paragraph number 2. That was the election deadlines are difficult to understand. We have added language after finished proposal and changed it to finished optional plan which has been reviewed and approved by county attorney. We missed a space under applicable statutes between the word under and 17. There was a space that was needed there. And apart from that, we circled council and changed it to county legislative body.
Okay.
Those are the only changes that I have noted. Any other changes from anyone else on section number 2?
Yes, I've got a couple of changes in Roman numeral 2. They show up as changed in your draft. Then towards the end of the big paragraph, after the 45 days to complete the review parenthetical, I have and amended based on the attorney's review, comply with the law. So those have changed from previous, I think they're mostly just grammatical. 45-day publication notice, that used to be 45-day public notice, or used to be publication, now it's public notice. May be satisfied, used to be by notice of publication during the 120-day deadline. So that's mostly grammatical.
Okay. Any changes then on Roman numeral 2?
Let me just add.
Yes.
That whole last sentence is new.
Right, the laying out the.
Starting out, the committee recommends
Recommends
that
the deadline be
yeah.
set 120 days before the election. Before this date, the plan must be drafted by the committee, reviewed by the county attorney, who will still have 45 days to complete the review, and amended based on the attorney's review to comply with the law. The 45-day public notice requirement may be satisfied during the 120-day deadline. Everyone okay with that addition?
Yeah, and then you need to add a line space between the applicable status and the paragraph, just add a
Oh,
space.
okay. All right, I do that.
Any other additional changes? Next, we'll move to item number 3. Here, we added, at the end of the paragraph, we added comma, or as a special election on the end of the first paragraph. So now it reads, this lengthy requirement can be reduced by permitting a vote for new officials to be held in conjunction with either a municipal election or a special election. Previously, we did not have that language of or a special election, so that has been added. Additionally, we have added special election into the applicable statute onto the last paragraph, or the last sentence of applicable statute. So it reads, if the vote for officials were permitted on a municipal election or special election day, comma, it could reduce the delay from 2 years to 1 year. Those are the changes. Also, we changed the word would to could.
Correct. That's what I have.
Any other changes on Roman numeral 3?
No.
Say again, Marcy?
No,
Nothing.
I'm good.
Okay. Moving on to section 4. We've changed the title of who forms council districts and boundaries to election dates are not special elections, but are set by operation of chapter 17-52A.
I'm not sure we're right on the right, let's see, Stephen, I think you've got Roman numerals.
Oh, I've jumped.
We're on 4, yeah.
Sorry, I flipped both pages. My problem here.
I was very
Who
confused.
forms, we changed this one into a question mark, and I remember. Who forms council, districts, and boundaries, question mark. In this section, we also changed anywhere where it said council or legislative body to the correct name, and also added after committee, I can't read my own notes. The county attorney.
And the voter.
And the voters. That's what we added, and the voters. Ultimately, the voters. That was Bob's suggestion. Apart from that changes, we've become a little bit more verbose in saying things, but those were the only 2 changes that we added.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
So on the copy that I'm looking at from Gavin, I see Roman numeral 3, and then I see Roman numeral I. That's really
No,
the IV, right?
we're not looking at that, Marcy.
The copy you've got.
Our copy here has a I then a V
Yeah, Roman
for the correct
4.
Roman numeral 4.
And then the only thing is, in terms of formatting, either, and I don't have a strong feeling about either way, but either there's a space throughout between the applicable status and the paragraph, or there's not.
Okay.
You mean an extra space, a double
An
space.
extra line, a blank line.
So she's comparing
Yeah,
3.
yeah, I understand.
I don't have a strong preference either way.
I'll just go through and make sure it's uniform.
Yep, that's all that matters.
Any other changes to that paragraph section? Okay, the next heading, we really changed the name. So we went from limit the role of the existing government in preparing a plan to the legislature should clearly define the authority and responsibilities of the established study committee, the existing county legislative body, and the petitioners in the process and preparation of a plan. Is everyone in love with that?
Yes.
Absolutely. Head
Mr.
over heels.
Mr.
We eliminated any commentary or.
Correct. We deleted the paragraph afterwards. Ruth?
There were, before we go to Roman numeral 5, there were
That was
some
me.
changes made in the applicable statutes section of 4 that you might want to review.
Okay. So we've gone from express boundaries. So now it's reading, if the legislature decides to vest in either the committee or in the existing county legislative body the ultimate authority to establish districts and their boundaries, that decision should be expressly stated in statute.
Perfect.
Everyone happy with that language as well? Moving back to number 5, everyone happy with the title paragraph, or the title, and knowing that there's no subsequent paragraph underneath.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item number 6 that I wanted to move on to earlier.
We'll see.
Okay, we did not change the title, it's the same title. We changed county council to legislative body, and then we also stated that we would refer to, we were going to refer to a specific election day, but it says here we didn't make that change. So it says, this matter was addressed by the Grand County Attorney's Review, which found it unlawful for the committee to refer to, I thought we wanted to put a specific election day.
That's what I have.
That would be fine. I don't remember that, but
I remember that too.
That's what I have. So instead, it was unlawful for the committee to refer to a specific election day as the date of adoption of the plan. That's what I have in my notes.
So just remove the
Remove the and put
a
a
specific.
specific.
okay.
Any other changes in that paragraph?
Yes, sir.
Ruth?
That first part of the sentence, where it says change in form statute, I have or may be a special election rather than is.
That would be fine, or maybe.
That's from last
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Ruth, I couldn't hear that.
Do you want-
Yeah.
No, you can go.
I need the steps.
Okay, so in the first part of that sentence, under section 6, an amendment of chapter 1752A should clarify whether the election date for voting on the plan is automatically established by operation of the change in form statute, or may be, rather than is, a special election with a date
Okay.
set by the existing county legislative body. Okay.
Okay, any other changes to that section? We'll move down to the applicable statute. I think it's remained the same, with the only change being county council being changed to the county legislative body. Okay, moving on to number 7, clarify the appointment of the county budget officer. We did not make any changes to that section. Anyone have any suggestions for changes, or are they happy with it as it was?
Well, it's new, and it's just a very minor, the very last full-size line, it starts out council/manager, form of government, and it, I added it, and it expressly vests the council the power to designate.
So we've added the word "it" after "and" in the last. Any other changes that people would like to make? Okay, moving to number 7, we've changed the title from "Budget Appropriations are set by the county council" to "Who sets budget appropriations?"
Number 8.
8.
Number 8, question mark. We've added the word "to," so it now reads, Chapter 17-52A requires the committee to prepare. And then we added, Bob's comment was that we wanted to add in the comment that individuals may or may not, or may have had background. So it now says, further, it puts a difficult burden on a layperson committee whose member may not have had background in the county's overall budget needs, instead of just assuming that they have not. We have also added the word "further" after the word "timing" on page 5 at the very top, second line. And then we've changed the word "general" to "specific" in the applicable statute section as well.
Yes.
Any other changes? Those are the changes that I have. Okay, moving on to item number 9. We've changed the title, the heading, from "clarify the role of the county attorney" to "consider the role of the county attorney in the review process."
And I had a note to myself, consider or considering.
I had "consider" in my notes.
Consider.
I actually have revising.
Ruth had revising. I think "consider" works.
Consider.
I think
Okay.
consider, they need to think about what it does, not,
And in this, we've shifted from talking in lengths about bias, preference, anything like that, and just changed it to simply, in keeping with the ideal that the existing government should not have any role in shaping the optional plan, the legislature should consider another means to deal with the duty of the county attorney to review the plan for legality, including a disinterested third party or an appeals process such as arbitration. An arbitration process could have the county attorney and the committee's attorney pick a third disinterested party, with those 3 persons given authority to resolve differences of opinion regarding the county attorney review. And then we
Love it.
reference to the section.
love it.
So that's changed substantially. Anyone have any questions? Those were all discussed in
I
our
think we
last.
did a good job on that one.
I kind of just interrupted myself, but I think that I had some clarifying questions for you guys.
Sure.
Can you give me just a second to
Sure.
gather myself here? Another means to deal with, I have different language here. My notes say, another means to deal with, are you guys with me?
Yeah.
The first part of that sentence, first sentence on section 9. Should consider another means to deal with, and I have the required review of the plan for legality. It's a little different than what Gavin has here.
I think I'm happy with the way it is.
And then after that, I think it's probably there, including a disinterested third party.
Yeah, it's in there.
Or an appeal, let's see. An appeals process, yeah. Yeah, my notes are kind of rough.
It's
I
all
got
good.
them in the minutes, but anyway.
I'm
Okay.
good with what we have.
Okay, perfect. Then we'll move to, oh, Judy? You're fine, perfect. Then we'll move to other potential clarifications. Previously, we had a section about public hearings. We've deleted that section and shifted everything up. So the first becomes include a provision in the statute that clarifies the role of the study committee. It is not an advisory board, and that was the language that Mr. Dabney wanted. It is not an advisory board comprised of public-spirited citizens, but is vested by statute with significant legal authority to draft a comprehensive optional plan of county government for submission to the voters. It does not recommend the new optional plan to the existing government. Everyone okay with that section? Section B, we've changed the word preparation to implementate, well, from preparation to preparation or implementation of the optional plan. And changed the, well, we have the word county council in here. Should that be legislative body? That's what I have in my notes. We're on page 5, paragraph B, second to last line, appropriate county council process standards and timeline should be enacted as well. Appropriate legislative body
Right, I think you're right.
processes.
Yep.
So change that. Any other changes to page 5?
As many times as we changed it, wouldn't be unusual to miss one.
Okay, then we have a big change in this.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Mr.
Go ahead.
Chair.
Yes.
On page 5 at the top, that long statute is an applicable statute, had a error, shouldn't be parentheses, close parentheses, should be lowercase d, close parentheses, so take that.
I didn't get that.
Okay, I don't see where you're.
Okay, top of page 5, applicable statute.
17 dash.
UA dash 404, 1C, Roman numeral 6, pertains to 1B, the Bravo.
Oh, okay, 1B is in Bravo. Okay.
B and then 6 after that?
And if you,
B6, yes.
is there still on number 9, under applicable statute, is there still is that a margin issue? It's on your copy?
He said he'd go back and match.
No, it is. You're right, you're right. You are right. The margin is different.
Okay, all right.
It doesn't line up with the other
No.
previous ones.
Well,
Yes. Yes, the left margin beginning with 17 is the first.
formatting is the final frontier, regardless of what Captain Kirk says.
Moving to the revised item C, we've changed this paragraph. Originally, it had additional information, but we've cut it out. It now reads, if a significant amendment to Chapter 17-52A is made by the legislature, it should grandfather all existing county change in government efforts now underway, where a resolution or petition has been filed with the county clerk. And that's the language that we wanted previously. Any other changes to that?
I had slightly different language, so just for your, if you want to talk, I had, if a significant amendment that is made by the legislature, it should grandfather all existing county efforts. Here's the new language, that have been filed with the respective county clerks.
We could add the word respective.
So,
So on page 6, item C, third line in, add the word respective, be respective county clerk, correct. Moving then to item D, this is a new section, so I'm just going to read it out for everyone. The current law provides that the committee is dissolved after, or 1 year after appointment. Based on some of the difficulties and delays experienced by Grand County, maybe change if to it,
Right.
it might be appropriate to change the committee dissolution to that date, or to the date that, then a list. An optional plan is approved for election and placed on the ballot. An election is held and canvassed. A study committee decides that a change of government is not needed, or 1 year after formation, and then existing law. They put,
That's a tiny bit different from Ruth's notes. Ruth's notes has, I think, one of the options was repeated, so there's still 4 options, but it was only 3 different options.
comments on that?
There needs to be a change in the first line of that, because it's, current law does not require dissolution 1 year after appointment, but 1 year after the first meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and there's a question about dissolution, though.
Yeah,
'cause
there is.
The
But that's what our
reading
attorney
by
says.
our clerk auditor, who is very good at reading state code, he said that you must have the plan submitted within 1 year of
That's
your
not what our
first
attorney
meeting.
says, though.
Okay, I don't know what the attorney has said. I mean, I don't know what the facts are. I'm just laying it
Sure.
out there for you guys.
So, Mr. Anderson, your reading of it was that we would dissolve 1 year after our first meeting?
Yes. I think I need to correct that. I've got to see if I can find the statute again, but I may have misstated that from the get-go. That the committee's not necessarily dissolved 1 year after its first, created after its first meeting, but the committee is required to have a final product within 1 year. That's a little bit different. We may not
So we-
have to find that,
So alternatively, in the alternative, it should say, the current law is unclear as to when the committee is dissolved.
That makes perfect sense.
That might be the best.
Yeah.
That might be, that's short and sweet.
the 4 options are still.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Regardless of exactly what the statute says.
And
then-
maybe take out existing law on the last option, just say 1 year after formation period, because if we're saying that it's unclear.
Right. Good point. 1 year after, again, first meeting.
After first meeting instead of formation.
Well, I thought that part was taken out. I thought it was just going to say the current law is unclear as to when the
It-
committee is
Well,
dissolved.
no,
Oh.
well, we're
Oh,
on
in
the
the bullet
list.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he has existing law. So did you catch
So
that,
would
Mr. Anderson?
you reread the first?
So the last line of the entire document is 1 year after its first meeting, period.
Yes.
But we're changing,
Formation and existing law.
yep,
Right.
and we're changing the first sentence to what Mr. Greenberg said, which was,
Current law is not clear.
Unclear as to when the committee is dissolved.
if the current law is unclear as to when the committee is dissolved.
And again, the last part of that sentence might be better, be appropriate to change the committee dissolution to a specific date.
Did you catch that it would be a specific date? Be appropriate to change the committee dissolution to a specific date. Any other changes in this document? Okay. Ruth.
I did want
I
to bring,
just want to say, I think it's a stellar piece of work.
I paid her to say that.
Gavin, I had brought up to,
You know,
Oh.
I felt really strongly that we needed to share with the legislature what our experience, and our frustrations, and I think they did a great job.
Well, I love the title.
Perfect. Ruth had a comment?
oh, I was just going to speak on behalf of our clerk auditor who wanted to weigh in about the election. Gavin, I brought that up to you right before this meeting.
Ruth, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh,
Here she is.
so what I had brought up to you right before this meeting was what Chris Baird had said he had indicated, I guess, to the legislature, to the lobbyist. That part about the election code requires 65 days, and this law that was House Bill 224 required only 60 days.
Right.
is that part of a cover letter, or is that part of this document?
I think it's kind of rendered moot when we change the 60 days to 120 days,
Oh, okay.
so I don't think we need to address that. Do we know if Chris had any other concerns about the election code? Has he had a chance to look yet?
Well, I called him right before this meeting, and he said this was the main issue that he
Okay.
had.
Okay. Well, you'll recall the other problem we had with that was the difference between 120 days of corrections and the 60 days for the final product. And we recommend, and I think it's a good idea, that is be made 120 days throughout.
Yeah, it doesn't change.
Perfect. Then, if everyone's in agreement, we will accept and have that be the,
Do you want a motion?
yes, yes, I do.
I'd like to move that we adopt the letter as amended. I don't know, how do we call it?
Grant
The-
County
The
Experience.
Grant County Experience document as amended.
We have a motion to accept the Grand County Experience document as amended, made by Mr. Greenberg and seconded by Cricket Green. Any further discussion?
I'll eliminate the October 25th date on the first page.
Thank you.
Perfect. Any other discussion on approving this? If not, we'll move to a vote. All in favor of approving the document titled The Grand County Experience with amendments, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 Perfect. Passes unanimously 5-0. Moving now to item C, approving proposed letter for transmitting the summary of recommended legislative action regarding 2018 House Bill 224. Mr. Anderson.
All right, so this is all new to you. We've not discussed it all yet. It is, of course, my fevered imagination. I'm much concerned about the tone, and so that's something that you folks will have to weigh in quite heavily. I've also tried to make sure I had the facts right, so again, I'll appreciate any corrections that you have. Would you like me to just go through it line by line?
Yes, please.
Can I just ask a question, Gavin? What's your concern, about the tone?
Oh, I just want to make sure it's kind of a neutral professional tone, not
Okay.
We deleted all the language about what were you guys thinking?
All right. So we're going to, I'm going to say you've got a list of addresses you've been working on. There's a couple more I want to make sure.
Hey, Marcy, could I ask you
Yeah?
to just mute your phone, and then when you want to buzz in, you can just unmute your phone?
Tell me again what you're asking me.
Could you just mute there's a button on your phone to just mute your phone, and then when you want to talk, you can just unmute it, because we're just getting a little lot of background noise.
We're hearing the grandbaby have too much fun.
I am.
We're hearing a baby.
Okay, I'll do it, fine.
Thanks.
I'll do that.
Don't hang up. Thanks.
Still here. Okay, fine.
Still listen.
Okay.
All right. So addressees, date, of course, subject, changing the form of county government dash proposed legislative amendment. Dear blank. We are writing as the study committee appointed to draft an optional plan of county government for Grand County pursuant to Chapter 17-52A of the Utah Code, paren HB 224, 2018 session, close paren period. We began our duties on March 8, 2019, after being appointed based on the provisions of that law. Our purpose in writing to you is to explain some of the difficulties we have encountered along the way and to suggest several significant amendments to Chapter 17-52A, which might help to avoid similar problems for other counties in the future. Any additions, corrections there?
Perfect.
Nope, we're happy.
Paragraph. The specific amendments we suggest are explained in detail. Beg pardon?
That's no one.
Oh, aliens. The specific amendments we suggest are explained in detail in the attached outline, quote, the Grand County Experience, changing the form of county government, unquote. As an introduction, we propose that there are two main problems with the current law. First, it is far too complex, especially regarding the procedures to initiate the process. And second, it needs to be more specific about the role of the existing county government in preparing a proposed optional plan.
Does there need to be a semicolon after process?
Let's see. After process.
And I would suggest that we, in the last line, say, in preparing and implementing a proposed optional plan.
Did you catch that, Mr. Anderson?
I did. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yes.
And implementing. So we'll read, to initiate the process, semicolon, and second comma, needs to be more specific about the role of the existing county government in preparing and implementing a proposed optional plan.
Perfect.
Okay, regarding complexity. In our efforts to understand and apply the law, we found it dense, convoluted, and filled with exceptions, twists, and switchbacks. I like switchbacks,
I
so
do
I'm going
too.
to entertain a motion to remove that.
You can have that, we'll let you.
We'll let you have that one.
We like it.
Okay, you
It's our
you
gift.
Southern Desert folks will appreciate
Yeah.
how switchbacks can be a problem.
We do.
In places, it is almost impossible for laypersons or even attorneys to decide what the law requires. This confusion led to problems with Grant County's effort to even begin the process, and litigation was immediately filed to contest the way the members of the appointment council were picked. Okay?
Good?
Oh,
Oh,
you might want to say, and the switchbacks were especially difficult because of the long wheelbase of the law.
There's a very large wheelbase to make B 224.
Yeah.
All right, paragraph. The statute contains several variations on the initial appointment procedures with different options based on how the change in government is proposed, the size of the county, the percentage vote in favor of the change, and special rules governing Grand and Morgan counties. We recommend the statute be simplified to create just two means of beginning the process, by citizen petition and by council/commission resolution, with either means leading to a simple way to name 5 members of an appointment council, and with both means leading to the creation of a study committee. There should be no exceptions based on county size or similar factors.
I think there should be a comma after name five members of an appointment council, comma,
And with,
and with both means leading to the creation, yeah.
okay?
Ruth has a comment.
He's not available.
Page 2?
I know I'm not on this committee, but I act like I am, because you guys let me. Should it be by citizen petition or by council or commission resolution, rather than and?
Yeah, yes,
Yes, you're right.
yes.
See,
Thank you.
that's why she gets a big money.
The baby gets some Halloween candy. Okay, paragraph, top of page 2.
Yes.
Because of the litigation, Grant County's process was delayed nearly 4 months, and I think it might have been over 4 months. This delay ultimately made it difficult to have a ballot question ready for the voters in November 2019 and contributed to postponing the vote of the people until 2020 at the earliest.
You got nods here. Everybody's happy.
Okay. Paragraph, regarding the role of existing county government. Despite the delay caused by the lawsuit, we redoubled our efforts to draft an optional plan in time for the 2019 election. We engaged in community outreach using several methods, and we felt that we had a good sense of what the people of Grant County wanted in a new government. We settled early on a plan, including a county council comprised of 2 council members elected from districts and 3 members elected at large. We were able to engage the services of experts in the field to help draw council district boundaries that were as equal in population as possible in order to preserve, quote, one person, one vote, unquote, ideals.
Everyone nods here. We good?
Okay, the beginning of that, no, right smack in the middle. We settled early on a plan. It probably wasn't early in your process, it was early in my process.
I'm fine with it. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Okay, not critical.
I don't know that early.
Yeah, it's true. We could just
We
delete it.
I wouldn't say early. I would say we settled on a plan, and do we need to delineate county council with appointed executive versus elected?
No, because we're talking about the districts there, Marcy.
Yeah, it's about the districts.
No, this is about the districts.
Okay.
But
And-
one thing, if we could focus on talking about settled and early, I mean, the idea of settled early maybe kind of, to me, makes it look like we were in agreement early on. But if you take out early, if you just say we settled on a plan, I don't like the implications of just settled.
Agreed.
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 We adopted a plan.
I like adopted.
Yeah.
Yep,
You want adopted?
Yes.
yes. And I have a question. Did we redouble our efforts despite the delay or because of the delay?
Let's see,
At the very beginning.
I like because
I think so too.
of the delay.
It's,
you want, instead of despite?
Yeah.
Because
Of the delay?
because of the delay, and then we're killing the word early as well,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Other changes.
So, read it.
So
please.
now how it reads, it will read, regarding the role of the existing county government, because of the delay caused by the lawsuit, we redoubled our efforts to draft an optional plan in time for the 2019 election. We engaged in the community outreach using several methods, and we felt we had a good sense of what the people of Grand County wanted in the new government. We adopted a plan, including a county council comprised of 2 council members elected from districts and 3 members elected at large. We were able to engage the services of an expert in the field to help draw up council district boundaries that were as equal in population as possible in order to preserve one person, one vote ideals.
Perfect.
I wonder also, my first impression when I read we were able to engage the services of an expert in the field. My first thought was, what field are you talking about? So you go through the rest of the sentence. It's not clear that the expert was on districting.
Expert, we could just delete in the field, an expert to help draw up council boundaries.
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
And we could also, instead of put, we were able to engage the services of an expert,
We
we
engaged.
hired an expert.
We hired. It's more, sounds like we put, yeah.
We hired an expert in the field, or in the, I can't remember what Marcy's. We hired an expert.
We hired an expert
Help.
To help,
draw,
right. Yeah, that's better.
How about not to help, but to draw? Sorry.
Well, he helped us.
Fine,
help.
fine. I'm trying to just cut words out now. Okay, will you read that, Mr. Anderson, per your notes?
We hired an expert to help draw up council district boundaries that were as equal in population as possible in order to preserve one person, one vote ideals.
Awesome.
Perfect. Ruth,
great.
He's not gonna hear me, but is it composed or comprised?
is it composed or comprised?
I have composed, comprised might be better,
I would agree on comprised.
okay? And right there, somebody, I think it was Marcy said, what about manager? I wonder if we ought to just say a plan including an appointed county manager and a county council comprised of.
I don't know that we have
No.
to, because this is about,
This is about just.
this is about our districting.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just extraneous.
I think it makes, adds to confusion.
Yep.
paragraph. We were able to prepare a final draft optional plan by the late summer of 2019, close to the deadline for a vote in November. Based on the requirements of Chapter 17-52A, the draft plan was submitted to the Grand County Attorney for her legal examination and review to ensure the plan conformed to statutory and constitutional requirements. In that review, the attorney identified what she found to be disqualifying legal problems with the draft. Two of these problems maintained that the legal authority to include certain provisions of the plan required the intervention of the existing Grand County Council, namely council district boundaries and election dates. The county attorney determined that under the law, the creation of and establishing boundaries for the 2 council districts was not within the power of the study committee and could not be included in the optional plan. Likewise, according to the attorney,
Comma. Sorry.
only the county council can set the date for the election, and the adoption date of the optional plan could not be included in the plan. Optional date, yeah.
I just have one suggestion. We say the county attorney determined that under the law, the creation of and establishing boundaries for council districts.
Okay?
Doesn't matter how many.
Take out the 2, take out the 2.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because it wouldn't matter if we did 4 or 5,
Right,
so we should.
exactly.
Other comments on that paragraph? Okay, moving on.
Okay, paragraph. The study committee disagreed with these conclusions and felt it important that something as vital as council district boundaries is an essential part of the optional plan. I just realized we're kind of assuming that if the existing county council draws up the district boundaries, they're not part of the optional plan. Do we want to explain that a little bit or what?
So that again,
So it would be something like, the study committee disagreed with these conclusions, felt it important that something as vital as council district boundaries is an essential part of an optional plan. Semicolon, if boundaries were drafted by the existing county council, comma, they would not be included in the optional plan.
yeah, that's the 4 vote versus 3 vote. I don't think that's the issue either. But I think we do need to say something as vital as setting council district boundaries.
Yes.
Setting.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Anything else? What do you think about
I don't know if we need to go into
that much detail?
that much detail. I just think we just need to point out or put the light on the item that we don't like, which is that distinction, and not go into detail of whether or not what they do, whether it is included or isn't included.
Yeah.
Okay. We further felt that, as an ideal, the existing county government should not have a role in either drafting or adopting the new plan of county government. Lastly, several provisions of chapter 17-52A make us believe that a legislative intent that drafting a proposed optional plan for the ultimate approval of the voters was not within the authority of the existing government.
The one thing I don't like the
Authority.
the word choice that says makes us believe in a legislative intent. Maybe, I don't know if we need to say makes us believe that the legislative intent was, or,
Yeah,
because I don't like I don't know, it doesn't
yeah.
sound.
Like
doesn't
us gives
flow.
us power.
Believe in.
Well, it's made us believe, isn't it?
Made us, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Made us believe
That.
that the legislative intent,
Okay?
but then we're gonna have to restructure that whole. It made us believe that the legislative intent
Was
Dra-
that
was that.
drafted?
Yeah, okay, there you go. That fixes it.
Wait, say it again?
So, made us believe that the legislative intent was that drafting a proposed optional plan for the ultimate approval of the voters was not within the authority of the existing government.
This for emphasis, I think I changed those two commas for the ultimate approval of voters to two dashes.
Yeah.
That's a lot better.
M dash.
Optional plan dash for the ultimate approval of voters dash was not within the authority of the existing government. Okay?
Any other changes to that paragraph that stretches from page 2 to page 3? Seeing none, moving on.
Okay, paragraph. That said, we acknowledge that the law is unclear on where the district's power lies, and it would be valuable for the legislature to clearly explain that authority in chapter 17-52A. We, as a study committee, strongly feel that the power ought to be clearly vested in the committee, which is vested by there's vested twice, which is vested by the legislature with significant powers and responsibilities to prepare the optional plan in a manner free from any allegations or perceptions of bias or interference on the part of the existing government.
My only change would be is the sentence that starts with "we" delete as the study committee. We strongly feel that the power ought to be clearly vested in the committee. The reason why is it's coming from us as the study committee. I don't
Yeah.
no, we don't need to remind them.
Yeah, and well,
We strongly feel, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that makes the sentence stronger.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, okay.
and
Oh, vested, eliminate one of those vested. Could be clearly established in the committee when it is vested by the legislature's given powers, or vice versa.
Is it delegated?
Oh, yeah, that might be a good word.
Ruth suggests the word delegate
Yeah,
or delegate.
delegate too.
delegated to,
The first vest,
Yeah.
yeah,
Clearly delegated to.
yeah,
delegated, clearly vested in the committee, which is delegated
That's what it is.
No, it's
Delegated.
clearly delegated to the committee, which is vested by the legislature.
Yeah, I do it that way.
Yeah.
Clearly
Yeah.
delegated to the committee, which is vested by the legislature with significant powers and responsibilities.
Now, the last sentence is giving me a little problem.
It's a long sentence.
Yeah, well, that's not it. The optional plan in a manner free from any allegations or perceptions of interference.
Yeah.
If
That's
if
better
they
than
can't
bias.
interfere, then bias doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay?
Perceptions of interference.
Interference. Okay. I'm
That
good
sounds,
with
that sounds better and not
Yeah.
condescending or something,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. And then on the part of, that's probably just interference by the existing county government.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you rather do that?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the whole, there, let's see, no, it's just the second sentence begins with we. Says, we strongly feel that the power ought to be clearly delegated to the committee, which is vested by the legislature with significant powers and responsibilities to prepare the optional plan in a manner free from any allegations or perceptions of interference by the existing government.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You got all thumbs up here.
Okay, conclusion, I should be bold-faced, just so it tracks those other two.
Should we start the next sentence with thus, comma?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of my little quirks, if I did that too much, but I don't mind getting rid of it. I just thought I'd bold-faced conclusion, so it would.
Sure, you're fine. Ignore me. I just like thus.
You're like that.
And I think
That's the attorney in him.
conclusion bolded is good.
Conclusion bolded is fantastic.
Based on the delay resulting from litigation at the beginning of the process, from the county attorney's rejection of the draft plan at the end, Grant County will not be able to place the matter on the ballot in November 2019, and will need to wait in 2020. Under the current law, that will mean that new elected officials cannot run for office under the new form until November of 2022, and the new government will not go into effect until January 2023.
So,
Cricket?
so,
Does that mean newly elected officials?
Well, it's about running,
That new elected officials, not newly elected.
Okay.
okay, since the ballot is already,
not run for office.
wasn't.
Under the new
yeah.
form.
Yeah, it's-
Instead of will, it should be was.
In,
Yeah.
They're saying instead of will, that will mean, or wait, which one?
The
will
Grand
not be-
County will not be able, it should put
Okay.
Grand County was not able.
Did you catch that?
Uh,
Second sentence, Grand County will, as how it
Was,
currently reads, and we would change that Grand County was not able to place the matter on the ballot in November 2020, or 2019. One other thing that I would maybe add is after we go to the end of the sentence and will need to wait until 2020, we could put maybe just a really short sentence that says, unless this is changed, period. I like that because it gives them, help us, please.
help the only one. You're my
Help,
book.
We're still too late for no.
I know, but I just mean,
That's a few days away.
well, no, not that. Oh, I'm putting it the wrong place.
Yeah.
I would put it later, unless this is
Well, it
changed.
says under the current law.
Right.
Well,
That's a
that-
strong implication there.
That they could change it, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if people feel strongly otherwise. I'm just.
You want the suspenders with the belt?
I don't have a problem with what he wants at all.
Would you find a tasteful place to put that in, Mr. Henderson?
About changing the election of the county officials to new officials.
Unless,
The
No.
timing, changing the timing, unless the subtle hint is unless a special election was allowed or unless this was changed. I would trust you to put in a tasteful place that
Yeah, I'll try to shift it around.
Or unless changes are adopted.
unless changes or something like that. Yeah, I don't envision you being too bold in the sense that you'll ruffle feathers.
Right.
Unless
I
you
got that
idiots
working.
do it right this time.
All right. Paragraph. This unfortunate delay can be avoided for other counties in the future by simplifying the procedures for starting the process and by specifying the degree of involvement of the existing county government in drafting the optional plan. We're willing to answer questions about our experience and help in any way possible. Thank you for your attention to our concerns. picturing, all 7 members of the study committee signing.
Ooh, maybe I want this to get to them as quickly as possible.
so
Maybe
let's-
an electronic signature, or let me
Yeah.
sign it.
Yeah, as
Signed by
We want to send it out today.
chairman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
signed by,
study committee chair.
there you go.
Yep.
Perfect.
And are we willing or are we happy to answer questions?
I almost said happy, but then I didn't know if I felt it. I'm just joking. I am happy.
And excited.
We look forward to.
Yeah. Happy.
What'd you like?
Happy sounds great.
Yeah,
You gotta end
happy
it on a
sounds
high
better.
note.
Willing sounds like they're making us an okay,
Yeah.
we will, instead of, yeah, we'd be happy to help, yeah.
Any other changes that anyone has?
No.
We are happy. Okay.
Ruth, comments?
Just a reminder to put ENCL or enclosure or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But also letterhead, do you want the Grand County logo?
No,
No.
Just something that's got your 7 names there?
Just plain
Yeah.
letterhead that says Grand County Study Committee, something like that.
yeah,
And
just
I
what
could have
you,
your 7 names.
just the way,
Ruth, can she put the addresses in?
Addresses. Yeah,
Um,
I can do you up a letterhead with no logo.
send
I-
it to you?
Oh, he's meeting the individuals that we're sending it to.
yeah.
Or list.
Well,
Can you email it out today?
and she's asking at the top, it'd say the study committee, and then she'd list all 7 of our names, and I think she should.
Yeah, I like, for letterhead, if you just do what you do on our agendas.
Yeah.
So that does include the Grand County
Logo.
logo, and then Grand County Changing Form of Government Study Committee.
Without names or with names?
I think you have to have the name, so if they want to contact us, they know who to contact.
Okay, so letterhead, county logo with the 7 names. I can do that.
Okay.
And yes, I can get something sent out.
You-
We got to figure out where it's going.
Mr. Anderson, do you have individuals that you would recommend sending it to that you could include on the email to Ruth?
Yes.
We want to go to the Office of Legislative Counsel.
Office of Legislative Counsel.
Bill thus far had 2 sponsors. One is Logan Wild, and I believe the other one is Thatcher. I've got to look at that and see. So we need to send it to both sponsors. I would like to send it to Victoria Ashby, who is the
Yes.
drafting attorney in the Willets General Counsel's office. We are very, very fortunate to get her. She is top-notch. And then, here's what Lincoln Schertz's email earlier in the week was. Some of these things I don't know. Leland Pollock, Mark Whitney, Brandy Graves. Brandy is the new CEO of UAC.
Yes.
Gavin Anderson, Gage Schroer. Gage Schroer was in the legislature. He was one of the sponsors of HB 224 in 2018. He is now an elected county commissioner in Beaver County, and he is a big advocate of the change of form plan. Much of the problems, I think, in HB 224 came from him. Chris Wells, you know, Evan Clapper, you know, Lyman, we know Paul Lyman. Bruce Adams, I'm not
Phil.
sure who that is. Is that
He's San Juan County Commissioner.
County Council? And Dennis Blackburn. Newell, I know Commissioner Newell in Wayne County. I'm surprised they're interested.
If we're sending it, can I interrupt? If we're sending it to San Juan, we need to send it to all 3 county commissioners.
I wonder if you want to be bold and send it to Lyman. That would be up to you, I think.
I think it's fine, too.
I think it doesn't hurt.
Tammy Pearson,
He's not a
Victor
commissioner.
Iverson, Andy Gant, and Chair Trevino. Chair Trevino is with Salt Lake County. He's our main lobbyist.
It needs to go to all of our representatives.
And yes, all the Grant County senators, legislators.
I think it needs,
There's a possibility of including Bramble. Bramble is a interesting person, and one of the problems with him is the law of unexpected consequences. You send him a bill a certain way, and it turns out 80 degrees opposite. But he does have the advantage of no matter what it is, he gets it passed. And he was one of the sponsors of HB 224 in 2018.
I want to suggest we send it to all the Grand County Council members, not just the chair and Wells. Again, just to,
I think that's wise.
and the,
Let me ask if I can do this.
and the county, our county clerk.
On this,
today.
this afternoon.
Right.
If it's okay with you, I would like to send a draft of this letter, and clearly label a draft, on the theory that they would sooner, later get an actual letter that was addressed, tidy, and a letterhead and everything.
Well, we can send an email this afternoon, I think, Gavin.
Why do we need a draft?
We don't need a draft. Ruth can get out the final by email today,
Okay?
she's saying.
If you prefer, that's fine.
What do you guys want?
Yeah, we can send it out.
Yeah, let's just send it out.
I think he was not wanting to push her is why
Oh,
why he was offering that.
Yeah, she's superwoman.
Yes, she is.
Just prioritize this as today, they need it today, so let's send it.
Perfect.
Okay,
All right.
excellent.
Well, I will work on these changes. I'll get them down to Ruth in the next few minutes.
Is there anyone in the governor's office we ought to send it to, Gavin?
Governor typically doesn't take too much interest, well, he should, former county commissioner. Doesn't take a lot of interest in,
At this point? Okay, okay,
my experience.
just a question.
Well, I don't, okay, perfect. I don't think we have anything else on this item. We'll run through the rest of the, rest of the agenda and see if there's anything else we need you for, but I think that should be almost it for the day. Any other questions or comments on the cover letter or the items that were the attachment to Grant County Experience?
Thank you, Gavin.
Can I ask Gavin a question?
Yes. Is it about those two things?
It's about those, one of those things.
Okay, perfect.
It's about,
Sure, go ahead.
um, you just mentioned kind of casually that your biggest concern with what was moving forward was actually limiting the authority of the study committee. Can you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, we can talk about that as maybe a matter of public comment without, action or approval by the study committee. There are some significant challenges in the way the new bill is drafted. I think I sent you a copy of it. One of them is quite troubling, I think from our perspective. One change is not a big deal, I'm not sure where it comes from. Study committee goes to 5 members instead of 7. Got the provision that in counties with a 5th decision class, that changes term is limited to either a county commission or an expanded county commission. So
That's
council,
us.
manager, council executive forms are not permitted if this passes counties with a 5th decision class. That was part of Lyman's bill last year.
Ask him if we're grandfathered since when the
Would,
process.
I've heard also that they're gonna remove the provision for grandfathering or not grandfathering. What's the stance now on that?
Well, it's pretty solid in the current draft, and what I'm hearing from Lincoln is that, it's a major part of the purpose behind the draft. That suggests to me that he's got the backing of some of the legislators sponsors to include that grandfathering clause. Bear in mind, we've got several other counties that are in that position, Weber and Utah County and San Juan.
Yeah, because from the individuals that talked to me about it said that was something that they would be willing to, something they might want to take out, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, it would obviously affect a lot of folks.
Right.
And I have looked through the grandfathering language, I think it's pretty good now. I didn't suggest any changes to either Lincoln or Victoria. There's some limits on initiating new ones, changes, shouldn't affect us. The big change we need to know about and I would like to know where this one came from. It very significantly limits the power of, well, starts, there is a fairly strong provision that says local government, existing, county legislative body is not to interfere with the work of, the study committee. However, all right, we go to a provision in the plan that says, an optional plan may not, colon, and then there's subparagraphs. Existing subparagraph says include any provision inconsistent with the commitments by Utah law. Here's 3 new ones you need to know about. An optional plan may not specify compensation or benefits for appointed or elected officials, may not specify the full-time or part-time status of appointed elected officials, or if the optional plan specifies the county council or commission members of the elected districts prescribe geographic boundaries of election districts.
Well, that clears it all up.
Well, it makes you wonder why you would bother to have a study committee. Those are the big deals. Those are the things that the voters look at.
Although you know that we took a position agreeing that we should not specify the salary of the manager.
Yeah. But this one says can't specify.
Right.
anybody.
Right, yeah, I don't like that.
Well, and the other thing it does, frankly, I keep harping on this, I hope I'm not sounding a broken record, but the section dealing with amending an optional plan somewhere down the road, it's got the above the line, below the line. The above the line says you can't change these things unless you have a vote of the people. One of those is the districts. The other is part-time to full-time status or vice versa. And the third one is alterations in executive legislative branch powers.
But if you can't specify part-time or full-time, how can the voters change it?
But yes, that's the point. And since those things are not included in the optional plan, then that gets rid of almost all of this above the line part of the amendment process.
We probably could have gotten done in time to get on the ballot with those restrictions.
I got it done weeks earlier, yeah. So that to me is a concern. Two concerns come out of that. Number one is this, the relation it has to this future amendment thing, which I just talked about. The other is, it just says, study committee, you can't do this. It doesn't say anything about who does it, when they do it, what means they do it, what standards they have to follow, whether it's considered part of the optional plan or not. So it doesn't help us to clarify the interaction between the existing government and the study committee. I'm gonna try and lean on that fairly hard, if that's okay with you. I still get to send a memo back to Victoria and Lincoln saying there's still a problem with this.
It's almost worse.
Well, it's almost like people heard what we said and were concerned that other people would go in and help them maybe adjust things that they didn't want adjusted.
Well, it's clearer, but it's clearer in a direction it's not necessarily
Their
good.
intent's clear, how about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, clearly, that's true.
And I have to tell you, it really makes you wonder, is the intent to diminish, well, it's obviously the intent to diminish the role of the study committee, but it almost gets to the point where you don't need a study committee anymore.
Well, that's why I was wondering, why would you have one?
Just to change the form, just to fix the county's anyway. I mean, perhaps.
You know, the reality of,
I think it's just kind of giving lip service to the study committee now that they realize what a can of worms they've really opened, that people actually can seriously and knowledgeably make suggestions that might actually improve government, God forbid.
Yeah, and it actually have a power behind it. I think that might be right. I'd really like to know where that came from. I don't know if it's Lyman or, I'm trying to think what Lyman's thinking must be, and it's hard to think. You'd think Lyman would not want to have the existing county government involved in the study process.
Yeah, especially in San Juan.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But you're looking at a bigger picture. I mean, this is the.
Lyman?
No, the state the state legislature is looking at this, and you've got predominantly in control more conservative areas. And if that's what you have the fear of, that you could have a study committee be created and change salaries for those commission members, they probably wouldn't like that. And so they're kind of shoring up their defenses.
Yep.
And I would guess something
I
like
think
this
you're
might
probably right.
come out of Utah County, but there are no Utah County representatives on Lincoln Church's mailing list. So I don't know if they've been involved or not.
Interesting. Well, interesting enough. Any other comments on that before we move on down through the rest of the agenda? Ruth?
I would recommend a motion, but I also wanted to clarify with you all the list of who this letter and attachment will go to. So, I heard Bob say Office of Legislative Counsels.
Well,
Logo,
that's the gal who's drafting.
oh, that's that, Victoria Ashby.
Yeah.
Victoria Ashby.
Okay.
I'll send you some contact information on her.
Thank you. Logan Wild and,
The reason is, the legislators, two legislators, the two sponsors, Logan Wild and Wayne Harper.
Wayne Harper.
I've heard good things about both of them. I know Wayne Harper, I've heard good things about Logan Wild. I think we could have done a lot worse with those two sponsors.
You know, I'm not worried about sending it to too many people. I think,
I don't think that could hurt.
no, I don't either. So as long as we hit the important ones, anybody else is fine too,
Also to Lincoln Church and Brandy Grace.
at UAC.
Brandy Grace is, council like, Brandy and Grace.
Right, and I have that email, Gavin.
Hey, Bart.
I have that email that Lincoln provided with all those email. So I was wondering about, do we want to send to all three San Juan County Commissioners?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see if there's
The
any.
more,
We
the more
don't
people
want-
we send it to, there's not really a person we're avoiding sending it to, I don't think.
Okay,
So everybody that we've heard, our own council members, the San Juan commissioners, everybody that's on the list, I don't think there's any individual that we're particularly avoiding. So the more the merrier in my mind.
Yeah, it's
I
public
think
record.
that could not hurt at all. It could hurt if you do avoid sending to somebody.
Exactly.
Right.
One other thing I'm a little discouraged about, I had sent, I've been emailing back and forth with Lincoln. I asked Lincoln, hey, I've got this input that's coming from the study committee, the Grant County Study Committee on Friday afternoon. Is that not too late? And he responded and said, I've already talked to the Grant County Council and the Grant County Attorney.
no.
In other words, he is not focusing at all on the notion that there is a Grant County Study Committee out there.
That's okay.
And he has not talked to the council.
Worried.
There's no way.
You know, who are the ones that have been in the trenches trying to figure out how to make this actually work?
But if you have an individual that doesn't care what you say, it's not like that we get this document to them. If we get it to the individuals that will consider it and will read it intelligently and respond to it intelligently, that's all that we're hoping.
Okay. And then on, Bramble, you might want to check with Jeremy. I think it was Jeremy that mentioned that he had a phone conversation or something with Bramble.
Okay.
He said that. Well, that raises the issue for me is, do we want to send it to the state Republican and Democratic parties? Because this was at the heart the political process.
Yeah, I would say, why not? Once we send it out, once we disseminate it over the internet, it could be anywhere, so might as well control it and send it to those people and be very straightforward about this is what we experienced.
And I wonder about the press beyond the faithful local reporter.
Tribune certainly been running some stories on San Juan.
Yes,
Yeah, give it to him.
Kevin Walker is
I'm
the
just joking.
Democrat chair.
All right, folks.
All right. Moving then to consent agenda action items, there are none. Discussion items.
Ruth wanted a
sorry,
motion,
sorry,
so
motion.
Well, I think you.
I think it's a good idea. So let me make the motion that we adopt the cover letter as amended, and that we authorize Ruth to send the cover letter and the
Experience.
experience document to all of those individuals that we specified and anyone else that seems appropriate.
Okay, so we've got a motion to approve the cover letter as adopted and to send it with the attachment of the Grand County experience via email to all interested parties that we had mentioned, plus any additional individuals that are appropriate. Do we have a second on that? We've got a second by Judy Carmichael. Any further discussion? Cricket?
No.
None? Judy, any discussion from you?
Marcy?
Sorry, Marcy, any discussion from you?
No.
Perfect. Let's
So
move-
I'm sure it's cover letter as amended as well.
As amendment, yep. Any other comments? If not, we'll move to vote. All those in favor of approving the cover letter as amended and sending it with the attachment to the above aforementioned individuals, please raise your hand and say in the affirmative aye.
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 Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Moving next to consent agenda action items, there are none. There are no discussion items. There are no possible action on study strategy. There are no public hearing action items. Future considerations. Anything else from us, folks?
Curious as to the next couple of meetings.
Got it.
Next meeting is
Compensation
compensation.
for both council as well as county manager. And then.
That's the 8th, correct?
8, yeah.
And then I believe we decided to move to the end the amendment of the recommendation and report document.
I thought we were going to move that later because we can't resolve that.
That's what I
without-
meant.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Move it later,
To
yeah.
the end of.
So that's really all I have for
meeting.
next
Yep,
meeting.
just salary and compensation.
For 8th of November.
Yeah, for the 8th of November, correct.
And
Really nothing set concrete after that.
Then
Oh, we
have
do.
districts on the 15th.
districts, we should have a written report by Christina Sloan by your 15th meeting, so that's all about districts. And we're going to need to move, your original motion a while back was to have a rough draft of the optional plan that day, so we'll move that. The chair and I will work on that together.
Okay.
And then nothing until December 13th, which is basically looking at
Finalizing.
edits between, I guess, between Gavin, Christina, and Chris Baird to the optional plan. And then on the 20th is the approving the final draft of the optional plan, outlining the publicity campaign, and anything else relevant, such as going back to that voter information pamphlet or whatever, relevant next steps.
Perfect. Any other questions? Close us out. Any questions, Mr. Anderson?
Oh, thanks.
Perfect. All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And all in
Second.
favor? Raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. It was seconded by Cricket Green, motion made by Bob Greenberg. The time
Got it
is.
around.
the
I got
time is
See you in the
1:20.
funny papers.
We're getting closer to 1 hour.
What time is it?
We're
1:20?
close.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
Gavin.
If we didn't
Let me
get this side of the conversation about the
Love you guys.
bill.
Bye.
She's the only one in the world that loves us. She says, "Love you guys." That's how she signs off. One of